Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your mid-March bonus reading. And when I do these bonus readings, I use just the general Celtic cross to give us kind of an idea of where the energy is at in the moment. This particular bonus reading is for the elemental energy of water, and water covers the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if you are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or have water high up in your charts, then this message is for you. And if I don't have the link in the description, there is a link in another video or two for a natal chart that is a really good birth chart. It gives you the basic 12 houses with all of the pertinent information, and then you go through 10 to 20 pages of a breakdown of what all that actually means, because there's a lot of symbols, and zodiac and astrology is not quite my strong point, so that's why I do the elemental thing. Right now I am shuffling to get our cross laid out here. I read intuitively, so the messages that come through may or may not be the exact same ones as a book definition. So, and if you're interested in any of the decks that I'm using, you can check out the description. I link those down there. So, and I'm using the Tarot of Dragons as the main one, and then at the end of the reading, we'll pull 3 oracle cards that we can get a little more clarity or some more information from source about the upcoming month for our elemental friends. So let's start out water and see where you are at. This one is the Significator card. This is you in this moment. We have the Two of Swords. So I'm getting I like this card, but it always makes me laugh a little bit because water, what are you hiding? There's something going on that you're trying to keep away from the outside world. It's something that's more of an intelligent thing. So like you know a secret that someone else doesn't know, but you're not going to share it. So where you're at right now is you're feeling kind of drawn away from the world as a whole, because there's something that you know, but you're not sure how others are going to perceive it. So you're kind of pulling away is what I'm hearing. And it's something that can be learned, so it could be something that you learned about, but you don't know how to teach it to the next generation. But whatever it is, it's I'm getting this impression it's a double-edged sword. Like, not everyone needs to know what you know, but at the same time, it's also kind of eating you alive that you want to be able to share this. So there's a little bit of confusion where you're standing right now, water, which is not always a bad thing, but right now it's kind of bugging you a little bit, like sitting in the back of your mind going, I need to share this, but I don't know how. The thing that's crossing you is number 16, the Tower. The Tower is an interesting card because I always look at it as creative destruction. In other words, something has to be torn down to be able to move forward and build something even better. So whatever that secretive energy is, or whatever it is that you feel you need to share but don't know how to, or something that you're, whatever it is that you're being a little more secretive about, this is something that maybe needs to be broken down into smaller pieces for people to be able to understand. But with the Tower as a crossing energy saying, whatever is going on, you definitely don't want to just blab this. This is something that needs to be maybe drip fed out, because to hold it in is going to be destruction. But to share it fully is also not going to be great. That's where they're like, you have to get a little creative in how you're bringing this forward. So as a crossing energy, that one's a little bit frustrating because you know you have to do the thing, but doing it outright is not going to be beneficial. So now you have to get a little creative in how you disseminate this information. And I'm hearing this could be a spiritual concept or something to do with a situation at work. So see how that plays out for you. Your higher self is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands taps into that fire energy, which is kind of your opposite. But in this particular situation, I'm hearing that this is tapping into your passion, your creativity. Your higher self, your higher frequency is saying, you're not doing this alone. You stand between the pillars of creation and destruction. You balance the world in your hand, meaning what you are doing is going to change the world, whether it's changing the world for you, changing the world for one person, a couple people, whatever. Where you are at right now, your higher self is saying this is the perfect opportunity. This is something that you, water, are more aligned to be able to express than anyone else, because you understand intuition, compassion, and how other people are feeling, which is a form of empathy. So you're able to trickle out the stuff that needs to be given out, giving it to the right people at the right time. You're not force feeding them, you're not overfeeding them, you're basically giving them what they're ready to handle. And that's the higher energy is saying, yes, this is not the easiest situation to be in, but you're the perfect person to be able to step out in this particular role. So your higher self is actually saying this is tied to passion. You're between two different ways of looking at things, but you're the best person, and trust your intuition, trust your instincts. Things will play out the way they are supposed to. Your lower self, your shadow, is the Five of Cups. Don't worry so much about someone who may be offended by something that you say. The ones who are going to be successful and take what you offer and grow with it may not be as many as the ones who fail, because just because you have this really cool idea and you know it will help people, that doesn't mean the other person's ready to hear it. And if they hear it and they run with it, that's a success. That's the top cards. Or top cups. But if they hear it and fail, that's down here. Or sorry, that's over here. And that's meaning that they were given something that should have been beneficial and they wasted it because they didn't understand. Your shadow is saying, stop looking at the things that are maybe quote unquote failing because you have other successes. Your shadow in this aspect is actually trying to be supportive of you, which is not always something that the shadow does. The shadow is always helpful, but doesn't always mean supportive. In this aspect, it's saying, don't worry about the ones who are falling away because they weren't meant to have it, or they weren't in the right spiritual mindset to be able to deal with the truths that were being dropped on them. Sometimes you just have to let those things fail, and it's not easy, it's not comfortable, but sometimes it's necessary. So, your history is the Six of Wands. Still with the fire energy here. We got a lot of fire going on in this reading, which is weird considering we're talking about water. But with the Six of Wands, in your history, whether that's in the last 30 days or the last 12 months, you've been very successful. You've been the center of attention. You're the one because of your passion, your drive, your go-get-em attitude, which water's not known for, but you've had this like burning desire here lately to step up. That has actually set you up for a really good spot. That's where you learned some of this other stuff, and that's why you're in the situation in this moment where you're like, I have a secret and I don't know how to talk about it, because it's not ready for everyone. But your immediate past is really about, because you've been following your passions, your desires, your creative drives that are divinely inspired, this is where you have done really well for yourself, and you've elevated out of a situation that wasn't so great into something better, and that also brought a lot of attention to you, which is probably why in the moment it's pulling back, being like, no, don't look at me. So your immediate future going forward now, we have the Queen of Swords, and I see this one always as a positive card, except you have a lot of things swirling in your mind. You feel that you have failed because you've cracked open a hollow egg. I feel like there's a dragon baby somewhere in this picture. Maybe not this one. But it doesn't mean that you have failed. It means that whatever's going on out here has been such a distraction that you don't realize what you really have. You still have hope. You still have growth potential, but your future, because of not knowing what direction to go in the moment, is causing this swirling chaos around your head, which is not a benefit for you right now. Your future is saying, it is time to tap into, reach for, and seek out someone who has been there, done that. Someone who is wiser in whatever way that is, so that you can bounce ideas off of them, and maybe they will see something that you're missing. It could be your inner circle, the 3 to 5 friends that are closer than family, or it could be someone that just kind of wanders through randomly, points at something out really obvious to them that you're not paying attention to because you're in the moment, and it will reveal secrets and reveal the situation to you. But right now, your future, water, is definitely giving you the heads up. Don't get trapped in your head. Don't get trapped in a whirlwind of emotions. Those things will not be benefiting you. My guides are saying take the time to meditate. Take the time to journal. Don't hold it here. Get it out onto paper. Specifically, writing it down is way better than typing it out in most situations, so take the time to actually write it out. And that way you can see more clearly what's going on instead of swirling it around in your head all the day. And that's from experience as well. So where your attitude is right now, where your thoughts, feelings, emotions are, we have the Eight of Swords, feeling a little bit trapped. This ties into this Two of Swords energy here. Uncover that card. Because this is you in the moment. You are trying to keep something away, something that you know that you're not ready to share, or you want to share but don't know how. But this is your attitude. So your attitude is feeling trapped, but it's being trapped in a healthy way, because the swords are being bound. In other words, you're not going out to be aggressive. The aggression is being tied down, but that also makes you feel like you're being trapped. The reality is, what I'm hearing, the trapped, the being constricted basically, is not you not letting yourself experience what's supposed to be happening. That creative destruction energy of the Tower, that crossing energy, is similar in respect to this card right now, because you have to figure out another way. You can't just bombastically go out there and issue the brutal truth and annihilate everything just because. You're being called to do it in a much more gentle way. The swords are tied, meaning it's not a necessary reason to go to war. The illusions need to be peeled away, not severed. So it's really about learning how to spread what you know, without wreaking havoc on everyone else. You're gonna have people, because your shadow says this, there's gonna be people who fail. There are gonna be people who throw away what you are offering, but you have people who are succeeding with it, and those are the ones that you're focusing on. Don't worry about the rest of them. If they aren't willing to hear it, then they're not willing to hear it. But water, whatever it is that you are working with right now, there's a way to do it really well, and really to share the information, bring it out where everyone is uplifted, or at least most of them. But that doesn't mean it's going to affect everyone the same way. That's why you have to trickle it out. That's that being able to creatively send it out into the world. So your environment, the outside forces at play here, we have Fortune's Wheel, number 10, or it's the Wheel of Fortune, depending on which deck you're reading out of. But as outside forces, that means there's a lot of movement going on around you. Water, I'm hearing you're here. You're the spoke. Everything's spinning around outside of you. You can only control you at this point, because the movement around you, the outside world, is outside of you. You don't get to say that. So that's where you have to stand and understand where you're at. You stand in your truth. You stand in what you have to share. Anything else that's going on out there is on that person, that situation. You can be someone who offers support. You can offer knowledge. You can offer something that you're observing. What they do with it at that point is on them, because right now you're kind of at the center of a maelstrom, and it's kind of mimics what's going on inside your own head in the future as to what's going on in the outside world as a whole. So don't get wrapped up in the outside world's chaos, because there's enough going on inside that you're trying to sort, that is not going to be helpful. Your hopes and fears, the Knight of Cups. You are carrying a lot of heavy emotions right now. To succeed, you have to be able to let go of what others' opinions are. Your hope is that you can help as many people as possible, that you can share this gift that you've been given in a way that everyone grows from. But there's a fear with this one. What if I drop it? What if I fail? What if I offer this and they throw it back in my face? Those are a lot of justified concerns and fears. But the hope is that you fly high, that you succeed in everything that you do, and that's where your energy is coming up the strongest. Is Your hopes and in particular are saying, spread your wings, water. You're the only one that can do this right now. The other elements are dealing with their own things, but water's the one that's got the intuitive secrets. They're the ones that are carrying this burden, so to speak. You're the only one that can share it. So the hope is sharing it successfully. The fear is, what if I drop the ball? And that's a justified fear. So your outcome, overall general outcome here, is the Sire of Cups. And what I'm getting with this one is, A, there is a father figure coming in here with the son, but there's also a teacher-student aspect. So what I'm getting with this outcome is, Water, you're both the teacher and the student simultaneously. Really fun. The teacher aspect is what it is that you have to share is what you have to teach, what it is that you are disseminating to other people. But as the student, you have to find a way to share it in a new way. You can't do what everyone else has already done. It's not going to work for you. Water, you have always made your own course. This is a time where you kind of have to do it again. But you have that creative ability, that intuition, that compassion. Water, out of the four elements, you carry all of the clairs opened up from birth. It's just which one's stronger on the chart. And so you can use your intuitive abilities to be able to share in ways that other people aren't going to be able to. But you're able to share it to the people who can hear it. Each person's going to hear it a different way, so each interaction is going to be in a different situation for you. But as a student, you, because of being able to understand in a broader range, you can understand and accept from a multitude of different teaching styles, because that's how you work. Water, you fill whatever mold you're poured into. So wherever you're at, you can adapt to it. And that's the essence of this, the overall outcome here is you have the ability to share and receive because you have the ability to adapt. Your strength in this reading is your adaptability. Don't get wrapped up in the air energy of overthinking. Okay? And also, don't get trapped by your arch nemesis, fire, by being too hot and spicy. Don't let the fire boil you. Bring it up to a temperature where it's healthy and stay there. Kind of like being in a hot tub. You want it just hot enough to be comfortable, but too hot's miserable. That's what the fire's doing, is encouraging you to step into that higher energy, but not go too much. So the subconscious energy here is the Eight of Wands. Your subconscious energy is feeling like you're the target of everyone's ire right now, or you're the target, everyone's looking at you. And my guides have a sense of humor. They just brought up that phrase from the old school, Carrie. They're all going to laugh at you. That's kind of the energy of what I'm getting here. It's your subconscious. And what I'm getting is, this is part of that fear thing. Why are you worried about if they fail? You're there to share what you have to share. You're there to teach what you have to teach. If they're not ready to hear it, then that's on them. Water, that is not your concern. Your situation this month is to be open to sharing what you know with the right people in a way that is unique for that person in that moment, which is not always easy. But don't get trapped by air's tricks of running around in your mind and being overthinking, and don't get burnt by fire's hyper aggression. And it's funny that your subconscious, kind of the energy behind the scenes, is the Eight of Wands, because that's another card of fire saying there's a lot of energy flowing, there's a lot of movement, but don't let those passions burn you. It's not good. You're not in the right spot if that happens. So your first oracle is number 33, great number, and it is nature's beauty. Water, your soul thrives in nature. You, out of all of the elements, almost need to be outside. You need to have plants around you, more so than some of the other elements. The only one that probably come close would be Earth. And what I'm hearing is, with nature's bounty, it's not just being out in nature, which is huge for water. Watch nature shows on TV, on YouTube, whatever you're doing. Put on just like beautiful, BBC did the Earth series a few years ago. Check those things out. But I'm also hearing eating really healthy, nutritious food. Free range, if you eat meat, free range meat as much as possible. And nature's bounty and beauty is also about eating healthier foods, more organic, non GMO, all that fun stuff. But treating yourself really well this month is going to help feed your soul and release some of this other chaos and get time to take a nice hot bath. Epsom salts are a good way to help ground out some of that excess energy. Or go for a walk. If you're in a spot where it's starting to green up and starting to get warmer, go outside and do something like that. If it's still a little cold, maybe just have a window open, enjoy the sunlight, and listen to the birds that are starting to show up. But do something that really connects you back to nature. That's going to feed your soul and support you in ways that in the moment sound silly, but in the long term you're going to notice that you do a lot better. Your second card, we got duplicating numbers going on here. Number 11, so you had 3 3 and now we have 1 1, which is intention. Water. In this moment, you can pause the movie now or video now, or you can do it afterwards. Write down your intention for the next 30 days, the next 6 months. What intention are you aiming for? Allow your intuition to guide this intention. What is it you're trying to create? What is it you want to achieve? It could be something as simple as, I want to achieve 10 minutes of meditation every single day for the next 30 days. It could be, I want to read a sacred text for 30 minutes every single day. It could be, I want to bring a smile to one person's face every single day. Write those intentions down. Put them up above your computer. Put them up in your kitchen. Wherever you're going to see them frequently. Tape them to your bathroom mirror so when you get out of the shower, it's right there. Do things that are doable. That are 100% something you're capable of doing. You just maybe haven't done yet. And it's setting these kind of intentions are ways of holding yourself accountable, but also helping support you in moving forward and improving your life in general. So I think this card's shown up in almost every one of these oracle readings. It's number 16, relationships. Your relationship to yourself, the relationship to your partner, the relationship to the world around you, water, is something you value probably more than anything else. What I'm hearing is, don't allow outside negativity to weaken, to destroy, or to confound that relationship. Water, when you get in a relationship, because of your emotional connections, because of your ability to see more than the other elements, your relationships tend to bond at a deeper level, at least on your side of things, because you see the other person in a way that person may not even see themselves. So you're in a lot of relationship situations, water, you're more of a, you give a lot more because you understand a lot more in an emotional sense with that other person. So when something happens and you end up getting hurt, it's a lot more painful in general. What this is saying is, nurture the relationships that you have. Support them in ways that are healthy. Don't overgive, but do things that are supportive. If you are in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, take some time out. That's interesting. Normally it's like, do a date night in the next month. My guides are saying, water, you are way more romantic than some of the other elements in the energy going on right now. You need a date night once a week. Really get connected back into your intimate relationship partner situation, but really enjoy it. Do things that enliven the relationship, but also don't forget the relationship with yourself, and that ties into the other two cards, intention and nature's beauty and bounty, because when you tie into those are helping nurture that relationship with yourself, with God Source Divine, with all of your angels and guides and guardians. So as you go through this month, this next 30 days or so, really take the time for self-care. Really take the time for relationship care. And be open to the unique ways of sharing the knowledge and information that you have, as well as being open to other people bringing in new information, because you've got a lot going on here, but what I'm hearing is it's all stuff that you're able to conquer, but in the moment feels a little overwhelming. But your outcome for this general reading is very good. it's teaching and being taught and being good at both. So I hope these messages resonate for our water family out there. With that, I will let you guys go. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, feelings, impressions, and I will see you in the next video.